It's your daily dose of Donna. Happy day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday, November 27th. This is your last dose of the week. Unless, of course, you're a Patreon member where you're going to get a special Patreon episode and potentially, I can't promise, but potentially a YouTube members only on Friday, depending. I am celebrating my son's birthday on Friday, but I will be around for members. How are you guys doing on this lovely Wednesday? We are prepping. We're preppers. We're turkey preppers here in the Bowling household, and we are hosting tomorrow, so we're getting everything ready. Welcome, everyone. I see so many people celebrating and hosting, and we have a lot of people on their first lives today, I see. Bestie, please, so happy to catch the live. And Michelle is saying, yes, it's my first live. We have people from Oregon, Michigan, so many people all over the country and the world. I apologize for people that are not celebrating Thanksgiving because you're not in the US. I am so sorry because a lot of your favorite podcasts that are daily are just not going to be tomorrow. But hopefully you'll be able to catch up with some other stuff. You know, I don't know. I guess there are people out there that are not daily podcasts. What are they thinking? How could you not be a daily podcast if you cover pop culture and like reality TV? I just don't understand how you could do it. So much happens every day. I couldn't imagine ever not doing the show Monday through Friday. Because can you imagine if I was just showing up once or twice a week and right now I had to cover, you know, Real Housewives of OC reunion from Thursday? Like, I would be so over it already. It's been talked to death. Speaking of talking things to death, I'm so done talking about Vanderpump Rules in just 24 hours. But we will talk about a little bit about the cast reactions and some updates. Of course, we do have to talk about last night's TV because wow. And then we will talk about some other updates in the news cycle. Just some wild stories from all the states. We've got some Atlanta news. We've got some Beverly Hills news. We got some Kristen Cavallari news, which is really, really interesting to me. Welcome, everyone, from the live chat and anyone that's watching later or listening on the audio chat or in the audio apps. I hear you. I see you. I know you're here. I'm an audio girly, too. This is your daily dose of Donna. I jumped the gun. I went early. Sometimes I go early. What can I say? Okay, I got a text this morning from an insider, a Bravo insider. I will not say names. I will keep all of that within myself, just me, myself, and I. But I received a text from an insider who does receive screeners saying, and this is their words and not mine, saying, Bronwyn is going to bug you in tonight's episode. Toddy over here. That's this guy's wife. Bronwyn is going to bug you in tonight's episode. Now, this is a person that doesn't necessarily dislike Bronwyn. So I'm very interested to know what is going to happen in tonight's Salt Lake City that is going to make me dislike Bronwyn. But this actually brings up, because you know, I have a new segment and we're still trying to figure this out, what it's going to be called. We're workshopping, but a lot of you guys like this. It's your microdose of the day. Microdoses of the day. I have multiple microdoses of the day, but in today's microdose of the day, or at least one of the microdose of the day, is Bronwyn. Now, there's some Bronwyn and Lisa shade, okay? And I need to know what you guys think about this because Lisa Barlow is forever a person that I will love. Why? I can't explain it. Sometimes there's people that you're just a fan of. Not because I necessarily like her as a person and want to hang out with her for, you know, Shabbat dinner. I don't know. I don't think any housewife is someone that I want to hang out with on the side and like, you know, be besties with. I think they're all not to be trusted really in real life. But Lisa Barlow is fantastic as a housewife. She's someone that I enjoy. She's someone that I love. She's someone that I want to watch on TV. She entertains me. Have you seen her sing Taylor Swift? Like, she is someone that I really, truly enjoy. So when I think about Lisa Barlow, I get a smile on my face. I will never be happy if she is not on my TV on Salt Lake City. If Lisa Barlow is not on Salt Lake City, then then Salt Lake City is not a show I want to be watching. Okay? That's just there. I said it. You guys can call me a Lisa Barlow apologist. Now, that being said, Lisa Barlow is officially responsible, in my opinion, from what I've read and seen, for introducing Bronwyn to the casting crew of Salt Lake City. Now, that doesn't take anything away from Bronwyn as a person, as a cast member, as a personality, as a wonderful human being. I don't think that does. Everyone's introduced by someone. That's how casting on these shows work. I think Kyle Richards has been responsible for many people on Beverly Hills. As we know, like Teddy Mellencamp introduced Crystal Minkoff to the show. I don't remember specifically how Bose got introduced onto the show, but this is literally how these shows work. One person knows someone. The casting team says, hey, do you guys have any friends that you think would be good? And they don't necessarily even have to be friends. It's just someone that knows someone, right? So Lisa Barlow, and we know this because what's her name? Bronwyn had said on her stories back in 2020 that she's friends with Lisa Barlow. So she was introduced a few seasons ago and filmed a couple of episodes with Lisa Barlow, or filmed a couple of scenes with Lisa Barlow a couple seasons ago, and was considered to join the cast. And Lisa Barlow and Real Housewives didn't bring her on. This is before Monica Garcia's season. Bronwyn did not get selected to be part of the cast because it just sometimes timing doesn't work. And it actually, thank God she didn't, because it worked out really well for her this season. She came on with a bang. Obviously, she's coming really hard after Lisa. Lisa and her are definitely coming at each other this season. And that's like Bronwyn's big story right now, is against Heather and Lisa. That is the storyline. So over at FanFest this weekend, Page 6, Reality, those guys were asking, I'll just play you guys the clip. We're asking on the red carpet, Lisa Barlow, what they thought about this and what they thought about, Bronwyn being asked on the show, or why they aren't getting along necessarily so well. And Lisa answered. Okay, I want you guys to first listen to Lisa's response, and then I want you guys to hear what Bronwyn said in response to Lisa's answer, and tell me if you think that that warranted the response that she got. Because personally, I felt like it was a little bit, the response that Lisa got to the answer that she gave, I think was a little bit over the top personally. So first, here is Lisa's response to the question. Remember, this is on Page 6's Virtual Reality.
Season of Salt Lake City has been absolutely insane. I feel like you and Bronwyn have been causing so much division amongst the fandom, because there are some Lisa stans and now there are some new Bronwyn stans. What do you think of the way the fandom has embraced Bronwyn? Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I recommended her season 2 because I thought she would be a great housewife. She filmed with me a little bit, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for her until, and that's not shade, that's truth, until this season. But I think she has a lot of great attributes that you want in a housewife. I just didn't expect her to have so many issues with me. I was a little surprised because they're issues from her. They're not from me.
Yeah.
And also a lot of the fans are kind of like, what's happening with her and Todd? A lot of people are kind of looking at them at like a fine, like with a magnifying glass. Knowing them, do you know, is this kind of just like their classic dynamic? Is he just feeling awkward on the show? Like, what's happening with that?
No, I think he's a bold person. He's a Sagittarius like me. I think we just say whatever we think. I've always enjoyed Todd and Bronwyn together. Like when we go to dinner with them, they can banter in front of others too. They don't shy away from that. Right. So I think it's like on brand for their marriage. They have a very different marriage than me and John, but it's theirs. It's not mine.
I mean, this season of Salt Lake.
Okay, so to me, this really didn't feel like a mean interview in like a clip in any way. Tell me if I'm missing something. She said, I recommended her. She filmed with me. And unfortunately, this is no shade. Unfortunately, she did not get selected. But look, here she is. I think she's a great housewife. She said she and Todd have a great marriage. Todd is a really bold person. I get him. He's not, they don't have the same marriage as me and John, but I think that they're great. Like, I find it to be a very kind interview. I don't find it to be weird at all. So Bronwyn responds, and they actually repost the interview with Bronwyn's answer as the top. And this is what she says. She says, I love historical fiction story hour with Lisa. Should be its own segment. You and I both know it was nice of you to recommend me. And yes, I talked to Bravo previously. Thank you. But the filming I tried and didn't work out, quote unquote, at was actually me just showing up to your son's Fresh Wolf and Utah foster care event to support them. You and the kids in Utah foster care. You'd think you'd remember when a friend and her husband supported you and your boys and not try to paint it now as some failure to launch. What? This is what I mean. And I'm telling you, come back to this episode. Come back to these last couple weeks of Daily Dose of Donna. Hand on my heart. Where's my heart? Hand on my heart. I truly believe in my heart, Bronwyn is coming in hot, too strong. The reaction was way too much for that clip. And I don't personally feel like that clip deserved that kind of reaction. Lisa said nothing shady whatsoever to deserve that kind of reaction. And that's what makes me feel like Bronwyn is just out for, like, she's sitting at home and starting shit with the Heather and Andy stuff. And then that reaction, it's like, why are we doing that? Why are we trying to create more drama from home? That's what I'm saying about Bronwyn. Keep your eyes out. All right. Before we get into the recaps of the shows for today, is there any other microdoses? Yes, on another microdose of the day, we've got to talk about Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann. And you guys, I just put it together when I was going through my stories of the day this morning. And this is actually really, I came up with a great business for Kody Brown. Since Kody Brown is, clearly going to be out of a job before you know it, because obviously he really doesn't have anything else going on, is Kody Brown moving. Kody Brown Movers. His first client will be Kim and Kroy Biermann. The funny thing is they all have KB in their names. Kim, Kroy, and Kody Biermann Brown. The fact that they're not all related is 100% shocking to me. Like, they really should be. Now, Kody Brown Movers is a new company that I think he needs to start. The moving truck only just has gloves on it. It's just gloves, and it's a picture of Kody with just hands and gloves like this. And it could be like an OJ Simpson thing where it's like, if the gloves don't fit, we're not moving. Something like that. Or the tagline should be like something about the gloves. Or on the other side, it could be something along the lines. It could be something like, and I think I came up with it. If it breaks in the move, it's your fault. You know what I mean? Because you know how he says, if I don't love you, it's your fault. Kody doesn't take any responsibility. So he moves your house, but he takes zero responsibility for your belongings. If they don't show up in your house and they show up in Robin's house, he has nothing to do with it. Okay. Now, Kim and Kroy are struggling. We know this. They are moving out of their foreclosure. Their house is going into foreclosure alongside 15 other housewives, allegedly Dorit, allegedly Mary Cosby. I mean, this is just a part of the Bravo landscape. Kim Zolciak is moving out of Atlanta, the Atlanta mansion ahead of its foreclosure auction, allegedly, according to Page 6. After TMZ spotted moving trucks, Kody Brown, allegedly. I mean, I think it just really works. This is what a source has said, that she has moved. Page 6 has reached out to their reps, and they have not heard back. So no one really knows what's going on, but Biermann may soon be forced out of the 2-story, 7-bedroom estate as it is listed for auction and faces foreclosure on December 3rd, according to public records. I mean, where are they going to go next? You guys, what is going to happen? Like, it's a problem. Mary Brown needs to take them into the carriage house. Like, go to Parowan. Parowan is looking for new people. I'm concerned. I'm concerned for them, mostly because they have so many kids. Like it's just bad. It's bad. They need to really downsize. They need to go to, I mean, the economy right now is just a really tough time. It's a tough time. It's a tough time to sell, foreclosure, auctions. Like the downfall of the Biermans is to be studied. So I feel bad for them. I feel bad for their children, but honestly, those two did nothing. They did nothing good. Now, I did hear a rumor, just to kind of left turn hashtag ADHD, that in addition to Teresa selling purses with her daughter on Facebook Live or TikTok Live, whatever she was doing, I heard a rumor that Jennifer Aiden was selling jewelry on her TikTok Live. So now, allegedly, all former housewives are just turning into QVC. So Bravo should have like an extension of Bravo called like Bravo Shopping Channel. It's not a bad idea. BSC, Bravo Shopping Network, BSN. Andy, BSN. All Bravo, former Bravo stars just start selling their shit. We get all of the stuff from Sonia's condo, from her townhome. I mean, really, it's a fantastic idea. I would buy stuff from all of them. Bravo fans, they would go crazy. Bravo Shopping Network. Pitch it. Someone pitch it. Does anyone know Andy? Pitch it. I mean, he would never take anything from like Kelly Dodd's house, but he would take something from anyone else's house. Right? Not from Bethany's, not from Kelly Dodd's, not from Leah McSweeney's, not from Caroline Manzo's, not from Brandy Glanville's. Who else would he not take it from? I bet he'd find a way to take it from Thomas Ravenel's. Like he'd find a way to get his stuff because it's probably really expensive. And then he would make 10% of everything. Bravo would make 10%. I mean, it would be a phenomenal idea. Bravo Shopping Network. And then 24/7 it would be on. And you know there would be like ladies in like, you know, that couldn't sleep somewhere in America that would just be so tired in the middle of the night and just feeling really sad. And Tom Sandoval would be on there. Tom Sandoval would sell the penis flute. Guys, I just came up with a phenomenal idea. Who knew? Okay, I don't know if I have a lot of time for that story, the Chris and Cavallari, but we'll move that to another story. Finally, or another day when I don't have such a jam-packed show. Get it? Stuffed. We're stuffed like turkey and stuffing. Let's move on to another story. We have to talk. Actually, let's just toss in a sponsor there. Speaking of the Bravo Shopping Network. Speaking of the Bravo Shopping Network, let's throw in a little bit of an ad for my shopping network. And I would love to talk about, what didn't I talk about yesterday? iRESTORE. Let's talk about my hair. One of you guys said, Donna, your hair looks great. Well, I got it colored yesterday. And I also added a little bit of a bang. A bang. Just a little bit. Today's episode of Daily Dose of Donna is brought to you by a product I am genuinely obsessed with. And I'm going to do it with you guys. It's called iRESTORE. If thinning hair has you avoiding mirrors or pulling your hair into that same old bun to cover up, I've got good news. The iRESTORE Elite is here to help you say goodbye to hair loss and hello to full voluminous hair that you'll love. Let's be real, losing hair can be so frustrating because I have been there and I really have, especially after pregnancy and with all the hormonal stuff. Watching more strands collect in my brush or in the shower walls feels like a battle that I constantly am losing. But then I started using my iRESTORE Elite, and let me tell you, it's a total game changer. The iRESTORE Elite is an FDA-cleared advanced hair growth system designed for women and men who want a non-invasive, pain-free, drug-free solution. With 500 lasers and LEDs, it delivers maximum scalp coverage, stimulating hair follicles and boosting blood flow to help you grow thicker, fuller, healthier hair. It's like a spa treatment, and I can do it while I'm sitting on the couch and watching Sister Wives. Yep, I can watch Cody lose his hair while I'm growing my hair. Seriously. Honestly, in that last episode of Cody and Sister Wives, when he was saying goodbye to Mary in her house and crying his ass off like a crazy person, like, I've never seen this much hair was missing from his hair. But like he has hair here, and then he has a random strand here, and then like hair here. It's like fill in gaps. Like it's crazy to watch. Anyway, the nice thing is that it's so easy to use. You pop it on while you're watching your shows. The results, you can see it after just as little as 3 months. Did I mention it's clinically proven? And you have a 12-month money-back guarantee. If you don't see results, you get a full refund, no awkward questions. Like, what kind of awkward questions? Like, hey, what do you watch on TV when you use it? They have their biggest sale of the year right now. For a limited time, our listeners can get hundreds of dollars off, $625 off. Okay? Off the iRESTORE Elite. So go to iRestoreLaser.com/daily dose. That's iRestoreLaser.com/daily dose. Trust me, you don't have to fight your hair loss alone. You can fight it with Cody. With iRESTORE, you can get your confidence and your hair back. Don't wait. Check it out now and let them know Daily Dose of Donna sent you. Okay, Vanderpump Rules. I have to say, really, truly, and I say this with love, I was like about to, delete Instagram yesterday. I'm really surprised. You guys are really sad about Vanderpump Rules being canceled in the iteration that it's in. Maybe I'm missing, I need empathy training. I need Dr. Jen and I need Erica Jane to enroll me in empathy training for Vanderpump Rules. I really cannot get myself to feel sad about Vanderpump Rules ending in that iteration. There's not one iota of me. I've watched all the videos. I've seen all the pictures, the quotes. I mean, people are putting their own personal stories. People are like, I want to find a way on Instagram where I can say hide all for anyone. Every single blogger is posting about it. I mean, it's as if we have world news, like nuclear war. I mean, it's crazy what's going on in my feed about Vanderpump Rules. Now I understand one time you post it or a clip or whatever. I mean, it's multiple times. Some of these content creators are posting about it, 6, 7, 8 posts about it. And I'm not trying to take away your sadness if that's how you genuinely feel about it. But maybe it's just because, I'm trying to figure this out. Is it because I'm older? Is it because Vanderpump Rules is why a lot of content creators got into the game? I was thinking, what if they canceled Real Housewives of OC, which was a show I watched day 1, episode 1? I don't think I would cry. I just don't. I don't feel like I would be so sad. I would just be like, okay, it was a good run. I mean, I cried when Beverly Hills 90210 was over. I don't even think I cried when Beverly Hills 90210 was over, actually, now that I think about it. I cried when they graduated their high school. I cried when Brenda left. I cried when Brenda and Dylan broke up. But I don't think I get that connected to that. Although I did cry when Josh Altman posted that video the other night about him and Heather Altman and their 15 years of being on reality TV. Maybe it's just the fact that so many content creators have really latched onto VPR for so long that it really is a lack of content now. They're not going to know what to do with their content, that they don't know where to go with it. But I feel like there's so many other shows that they can really talk about now. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm really kind of surprised how emotional people are about it. That being said, we're not going to not see these people. Lala, Sheena, and Schwartz are all going to be on the Valley. We already saw that. I don't know if we'll ever see Allie Bally again on TV. And I really hope we don't. Okay? And that's not against Allie Bally. She's a very sweet person. And I think she can have a great career in psychic readings, as a singer-songwriter, as a human being in her artistry. Is she a reality star? I don't believe so. Personally, I think she's a really nice person. And I think James is going to have an amazing, wonderful, incredible career as a DJ. I think he's going to do great. Ooh, Danny says Josh Altman left because he's in trouble, allegedly. Can you tell us more? I have not heard that. I heard the show was getting canceled. Interesting. Obviously, we're going to continue to see Ariana. She's going to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Everyone's posting these videos of her rehearsing. She's going to be perfectly fine. Katie's doing great in her podcast. We'll continue to see her. Sheena and Lala are also both doing great on their podcast. We'll continue to see them and on the Valley. Tom Sandoval. Do you guys want to see Tom Sandoval? I'd be shocked if you do. Like, what are we actually sad about here? We don't want to see them on the show. The show itself would have been horrible with them back. So I think we're missing what the show used to be. I don't think we're missing what the show would have been. Had the show actually came back, you would have been horrified at what you would have seen. I think it would have been horrible. Okay, Sandy says Josh Flagg and Tracy were on Jeff Lewis Live this week and talked about it. So let me know in the comments what they said because I didn't listen. Okay, so let me know what you guys actually are sad about, those that are sad about Vanderpump Rules. I think it's like when you break up with a boyfriend at the end of a relationship when it's so bad, and you break up and you're so sad because you're sad about what it used to be. You're sad about what it could have been. You're sad about the potential of this relationship when you first got together and you're like, oh, it could have been so good. Or like, I thought he was the one, but in reality, you hated each other. You never had sex. You sat on opposite sides of the couch and you thought his breath smelled. You know what I mean? So you break up with them and then you're sad about it. But like in reality, you hated the second he walked through the door. So that's the truth. I think I honestly have faith in the new Vanderpump Rules. One of my dosers sent me a DM saying that she was out here in LA last week or the week before, and she was at either Sir. Yeah, she was at Sir. I wish I remember if she was at Sir or Tom Tom, and she was talking to one of the bartenders who was saying that he was auditioning for the new Vanderpump Rules, and it was down to him and the other person to be one of the bartenders. So like, they're going to have a great cast. Guarantee you, watch. They're going to have a phenomenal, great cast, and we're going to totally forget about this cast, and we're going to be so into it, and it's going to be like Southern Hospitality. And I think it will be so fun, and it'll be great. Okay, back to Josh Altman. This is all alleged because I have not done the research on this. This is from Danny Gossip Girl, who is also a content creator, who's in my comments. She says, allegedly, I remember reading about this, but I don't know if it's for Altman specifically. 2 Los Angeles Superior Court lawsuits filed this month for different reasons for similar claims against Douglas Elliman, which is the company that they work for, and some of its executives, accusing the brokerage's California businesses of engineering kickbacks for select agents and rule bending to the benefit of the Altman brothers team. So I didn't really talk about this. Okay, so allegedly Heather also says that Josh Flagg and Tracy were not happy about him making the decision to leave with Heather. Supposedly, Altman wanted them all to walk away at the same time. Supposedly, Josh Flagg wanted them to all walk away at the same time. I'll have to look at that. I'm going to look into that, and that will be a story. Maybe I'll talk about it on Patreon or put it on the Facebook group, and we can all chat about it there. Also, join the Facebook group if you're new here and you haven't. It's at Daily Dose of Donna on Facebook. So over July 4th weekend, and I didn't cover this because I was off and I wasn't doing a show for a couple of days. I remember I was up in Ventura at my friend's beach house, and I was like just on like my phone, and I remember seeing an article that Tracy Tudor was part of this lawsuit about these real estate agents. And I don't know if they were at Elliman or another real estate firm, of like crazy sexual harassment and like really, really crazy stuff between real estate agents about 10 years ago, stuff that had gone down a long time ago. So I don't know. I don't know. But I will definitely look into it. Okay, so back to the show. I don't even know where I will. You guys, this is ADHD in human form right here. Let's move on with Vanderpump Rules. I am not sad about it. I feel like it will all be fine. I feel like hopefully they will be fine. Another little story, but then we'll go into recaps. Dancing with the Stars. Did anyone watch the finale? I feel bad because my husband works on the show and he loves that show so much. And the numbers were phenomenal. Allegedly, according to Dancing with the Stars and all the TV ratings, this show did better than any other season of Dancing with the Stars. And it goes to show that Bravo Lebs aren't the reason for those show numbers, even though last season, all of us watched it like crazy because of Ariana and like Mauricio and stuff. But even though Bravo Lebs didn't last to the end, so many people watched this. They had 2 Olympians, of course, last to the final 5. They had Steven and the pole vault guy, and then they had Alona, and then they had Chandler Kinney, who was a former Disney girl, and they had former Bachelor Joey, and they had Danny Amendola, the sorry, Todd. Todd's mad at me. I'm just moving you over there, sir. And then they had Danny Amendola, and I feel like that's the final 5, right? Chandler, Danny, Joey, Alona, and Steven. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is going to give you a chance to turn this off, and I'll put timestamps later. Spoiler alert. And I'm pretty sure I have this right. Danny Amendola went home in 5th place. Steven went home in 4th place. Chandler Kinney went home in 3rd place. Alona went home in 2nd place. And the winner was former Bachelor Joey and Jenna. And people are very, very, very surprised, very shocked, because this is so America. The article that I sent to Lance, I was like, oh my God, this is what the article says. This is not a joke. Dancing with the Stars fans are shocked that Chandler Kinney finishes in 3rd place and are calling it racist. Chandler Kinney was an amazing dancer, beautiful woman. Lance actually thought she was going to probably do first, okay? Because he thought she was also phenomenal. She was getting perfect scores. Probably not every single week, but a lot of people thought it was racist. Why? Because she was getting amazing scores. But at the end of the day, this really is a voting show. This is a Bachelor that won. Did anyone here that was watching actually believe that Chandler Kinney was a more well-known person than an ABC star from The Bachelor on a show on ABC? Like, who here knew who Chandler Kinney was over a Bachelor and an Olympian? Come on. She may have been a better dancer, but the best dancer doesn't always win the show. That's not like the way this show works. She was in 3rd place. Anyway, Chandler Bong. I thought it was funny to see that, like, how everyone gets really upset about that. But this really does come down to votes, you know? They were all great. What do you guys think about Gleb and Brooks and that whole story, like the dating story? All I know is Gleb is good looking. We've talked about that before. And we don't need to talk about it more. Joe Mendoza. Even Chandler Bing on Friends is more popular than this Chandler. She's beautiful and she did a phenomenal job. But I worked in casting in those days and I still don't really know who Chandler Kinney is. Like, I know her name. I would never be able to recognize her before the show. So I think she may have been a great dancer, but she didn't have the votes. That's just how these things work. Sometimes it's just not fair. It's fair. Sometimes it's not what you want, is the way these voting things work. Okay, let's move on. Before we get into, we're going to start with Real Housewives of New York, but don't worry, I'll keep it short. And because I know we have to get to Beverly Hills, which is really the meat of the story today. Although I think New York obviously has stuff that we do need to talk about because it was a little bit more substance than it normally is, although it was a lot of crap around the substance. I want to mention a really important, very, very essential, important ad for today and for the next 5 days of your life, because I will not be with you for the next 4 days of your life. And as you know, since I will not be with you, you will need pleasure in other ways. And when I think of pleasure, I think of Donna Bowling. And when I don't think of Donna Bowling with pleasure, what do I think of? In 3, in 2, in 1, I think of Dame. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Dame, for giving us all the self-care we need. Dame.com. It's time to give yourself some self-care and pleasure. Does Thanksgiving stress you out? Does hanging out with your family stress you out? Does hanging out with friends stress you out? Or does being alone sometimes make it feel lonely and sad? Listen, Thanksgiving is just another day. Do I love Thanksgiving personally? I do. I do. Okay. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people feel stressed out because they have to travel. A lot of people are with sick family and kids. Like a lot of my friends have sick kids. In fact, my son Dylan right now is feeling a little sick, to be honest. He just woke up. He just sent me a text. So like from his room. Okay. He just woke up. It's 11:43. It's stressful. You got a messy house. You got kids home. I'm hungry. Mom, when's the food ready? Then you got family coming over. Can I have a drink? When's the turkey ready? Oh, this turkey's not crispy enough. It's a lot of stress. Okay. So sometimes you just have to say, excuse me, I need a break. I need a Dame break. That would be really awkward during your Thanksgiving dinner to be like, excuse me, I need to go upstairs to masturbate. Can you imagine? I just really, really want to, if one of you guys would want to make the dosers the happiest during your Thanksgiving dinner, pull out your phone and just film yourself here and be like, guys, I just need a break and I need to go. Oh God. This is where Dame comes in. Dame is more than just a brand. It's a revolution in sexual wellness. What makes Dame truly special is their focus on creating high quality, versatile products that the most important thing is they fit seamlessly in your self-care routine. It's like Bing Bang Dame, Chandler Dame. There's Eva. There's Calm. There's Palm. You know, there's probably Turkey. There's so many different kinds. And there's the 3-year warranty, and it's 100% body safe quality ingredients. They don't cut corners. Every product is made with incredible care. It's made by a woman with a sexologist also. It's engineered for your body. Okay. It's here to help you reconnect with what matters. And that's you, my friend, you. Look straight in my eyes. It's you. Pleasure isn't a luxury, and it's an essential part of your well-being. Ready to experience the difference? Visit Dame.com and use code DailyDose at checkout to get 30% off your first purchase. Trust me, this is a game changer, and you and your turkey, you and your Thanksgiving turkey absolutely deserve it. Poor Susan says she's sick with a horrible head cold, woke up sounding like a man voice trying to clean. We only have my husband and daughter and myself, but feel terrible. Oh, Susan. I am so sorry. There's nothing worse. A couple years ago, Lance woke up with COVID on Thanksgiving. I will tell you this. No one needs, especially if you're not hosting a whole thing, take some Dayquil. Literally order in food. Stop cooking. Order in food for your husband and daughter. Throw on some movies for them. Get in bed. They don't care. Do Thanksgiving on Sunday night for yourself if you don't care. Get in bed and watch bad TV. Like, don't force yourself to cook. I am so sorry, honey. There's nothing worse than feeling sick on Thanksgiving. It's such a bummer. And everyone's sick. Now, Valerie has a great story. Okay. Valerie says, we had an argument during one Thanksgiving dinner. My sister excused herself to go use her vibrator and told the whole table. Argument over. Oh my God. Way to break the ice. Yeah. If anyone starts talking about like divisive topics, things that you don't want to talk about, you can just be like, excuse me, everyone stop. I need to go masturbate. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are doing Thanksgiving on Sunday because they're sick. Wait, why is everyone sick? It's like every year Thanksgiving comes and people get sick. It's a conspiracy. It's big Thanksgiving. It's big turkey. I'm telling you. Someone look into it. Diddy did it. It's Diddy's fault. I'm going to tell you, I am going to on Patreon this weekend. I'm going to tell you guys some crazy shit I just heard from my hairdresser who's very involved in the music industry, and it's not good. It's not good, and it's scary. Let's get into RHONY. So I will tell you this. RHONY was watchable. Why? Because Andy told us to watch it. Was it good? I don't want to say it was good. It wasn't good, to be honest. It really wasn't good. Was it better? I guess. The entire pigeon story still sits with us. The leaky pigeon, okay? The leaky pigeon about who told who about Rebecca Minkoff's fake pregnancy. This is where the whole, I can't reconcile with who the producers are behind the show. Because the fact that you can put such a sensitive, controversial topic, such a sensitive, political, I mean, it's turned into, it shouldn't be, but it's turned into a very political, sensitive, cultural, important topic like abortion, which is an incredibly important topic, and it's incredibly sensitive, and it's incredibly emotional, and it's incredibly real, and it's personal. The fact that you can put a story like that in the same episode as the leaky pigeon story about joking, about pranking, about lying, about Rebecca's fake pregnancy, in the same episode as Erin is such a liar, a conniving person, I can't even trust Erin, I don't want to be her friend, as the same episode as Uba trying to get pregnant with her boyfriend that we've never met before, have no idea, but she has fibroids. What is happening? I liked that okay. How do I even go here? The show is trying too hard to do something. And it's not working because it's feeling performative. And had it felt real and authentic, meaning had someone on that cast needed, God forbid, to have an abortion in real time because, God forbid, they got pregnant and couldn't have this child or didn't want to have this child or for whatever reason, that would have hit so much better and so much stronger than, randomly Glamour magazine randomly came to me to do a piece on abortion. And randomly, 20 years later, I'm going to talk about an abortion that I did when I was 18, randomly for Real Housewives of New York. And it's going to be this crossover publicity piece for Glamour magazine. It's really a publicity piece for Glamour because it's product placement for Glamour. And it's now going to go into it. It takes all of the importance of talking about abortion out of it when you make it to be like an advertisement for Glamour magazine. But it's an important topic to talk about. And so it bothered me that it got mixed into this horrible episode of Leaky Pigeons. And then there's this whole section of like, we can't stand Erin. And meanwhile, Erin's going through this horrible story in the middle of the episode, talking about this like real thing that happened to her, this devastating real thing that happened to her. But now we're in Uba's apartment and like, we hate Erin. We hate her. We don't trust her. And then meanwhile, Erin's like breaking apart, falling, like talking about her real life 18-year-old experience that most women go through. Truly, most women go through. Well, I don't know most, but they said 1 in 4. So I imagine a lot of women go through. And then all of a sudden, it just, none of it, like it didn't reconcile for me. And then we have Uba, who, bless her heart, she's a 40-year-old woman, wants to get pregnant and has fibroids. It's a real story. Where's her boyfriend? Why aren't we meeting her boyfriend? If you're telling the story about wanting to have a baby with a man that you're in love with, that we know you live with now, why aren't we meeting him? Tanya says, yeah, but what episode should have gotten squeezed into? They're all bad. It's so true. Like, where could it have gone? Now, the one part about the show, the story that I really enjoyed and really cared for was the whole dad storyline, because her father died, and this was probably the last time she ever shot with him. And her dad, her Abba, as we call it in Hebrew, was he spoke to her exactly how you would want your father to talk to you if you had to admit to someone that you know were hiding this from them forever and something you're scared about. And he handled it perfectly, and he gave her the answer exactly that she wanted to hear and you would hope to hear, because what number one, what is he going to do? 20 years later, what is he going to, like, disown her? He's going to be mad at her? Of course he's going to be okay with it. He loves her. She's grown up. She's 20 years later. She has a beautiful family. She has 3 kids. She's married. She's successful. She's fine. And look, he even got a woman pregnant who had an abortion. And his ex-wife, her mother, even had an abortion. I mean, so many people have had abortions, right? This is not, I don't think, whatever. So the point is that part I really liked of the story. And I think it's an important topic to have. It just felt so out of place to me. It felt so like out of left field for the show and the storyline that it bothered me a little bit for this show. Because the whole storyline has been like, it's all moving towards like, let's be mad at Erin. Erin's a liar. Erin's a liar. Oh, by the way, Erin had this abortion. Now we have to cry with Erin, and I'm sad for her to have to share that story. It's very scary to have to share that publicly, I'm sure, in a public forum, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been very mad at her for sharing that, I guess. I don't see why people should be mad at her, but I imagine people are in this world. I don't know. Should I stop talking about it? Am I going to get hate for talking about it? I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It didn't, like, I feel like that this is something that, like, on paper, we're all supposed to be like, oh my God. And yet I felt like it was like another, just like RHONY producers being like, we're making a difference. And it just, again, it's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's like too divisive right now on our screens. There's too many people. It's bringing up too much emotion right now, given our current climate. Okay. So that's how I feel about RHONY. And then what else Jenna, does Jenna Lyons have some eye injury because of the dodgeball situation last week? Does Jenna Lyons have does she still have a dodgeball injury? Because there was a scene of her cooking. There was a scene of her cooking with her son, and she was wearing sunglasses in her kitchen. Did anyone else find that a little strange? Did anyone else find that strange? I was thinking, you're making mushroom risotto with your 18-year-old son. Why are you wearing sunglasses in your own kitchen? Jenna Lyons is an enigma. She's an enigma. Then she has a crush now all of a sudden on Raquel. She has a crush on Raquel, and she has a hall pass with Raquel. A hall pass from who? We haven't met your girlfriend. Sorry, fiance. Sorry, maybe wife. Okay. Now, I really like Uba. So I'm not saying anything bad about her having wanting to get pregnant. I think that's beautiful. I think that's great that she wants to have a baby. I loved her story saying like, listen, if I get pregnant, then it's exactly then it would be great. If I don't, then, whatever, but then it's okay too. But like, I believe that a baby should come into my life and I want that to happen. But at the same time, like, I want to meet her man. I've seen a picture of him, but like, you can't talk about the fact that you're in love with this man and that you want to have a baby with him so much on a TV show and not show him to us. It's not fair for the audience. Doesn't that feel strange, you guys? It feels strange that we are not meeting her boyfriend and she's talking about him. Then just don't talk about him. Then just don't make him part of your story. Then don't try to get pregnant with his baby. Then just say you want to have a baby alone. It's strange. Debbie is saying maybe Jenna's skin and hair condition makes her photosensitive too. But we've seen her many times without sunglasses. She's in her own kitchen. Oh, man. Rebecca says John Jansen's interview with Bryce Sanders just dropped. Is he entertainment tonight? Okay, enough. Enough. I don't want to do it. John Jansen should not get press. Whoever is giving John Jansen press, like, they should get canceled, not me. All right, let's move on to the better show of the night. And that's another thing that they do to screw us is they give us like cream of the crop. They give us Beverly Hills. So we're starting up here and then we drop here. It's like you start with dessert and then you end with, Brussels sprouts. Who wants that? Let's start with let's go on to the most amazing show on TV, in my opinion. Well, Salt Lake City is pretty good, but Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, fantastic. And I have so many thoughts about Kyle. So everyone, get yourself a coffee, get cozy. We have some good stuff to talk about. And before we do, I just want to really quickly shout out again, because of course I don't have any more shows this week. And I really want to tell you guys about Oak Essentials again. Daily Dose of Donna is brought to you by Oak Essentials. This is a perfect under the tree gift or a gift for Hanukkah. This holiday season is in full swing. And let's face it, it can be stressful, but you don't have to let it show on your skin. And that is why I'm obsessed with Oak Essentials. I'm going to be posting a lot about this on my stories this weekend. So make sure to follow me on Instagram at This Is Donna Bowling. And then of course it will be on my newsletter this weekend as well. So sign up at dailydosepod.com/newsletter. But Oak Essentials takes self-care to the next level with their clean, luxurious skincare and body care. Their products don't just feel amazing, they work. My personal favorite is the Dew Body Oil. This little miracle transforms dry winter skin into a silky, glowing dream. It's lightweight, fast absorbing, and leaves me feeling radiant, like I've just stepped off a tropical getaway. And the scent is wonderful. It's not strong, it's not overpowering, and it doesn't make you feel all oily and like yucky and like thick and bleh. It's a complete 5-step ritual for head to toe moisture is the body routine. All the things. It's beautifully packaged. It's ready to gift. You have to buy no extra wrapping, so you can just send it directly to your friends and family. It's cruelty-free, non-GMO, and free from all the yucky stuff like silicones and sulfates. So through Cyber Monday, you can get 20% off your first order with the code DailyDose at oakessentials.com. That's 20% off OAKESSENTIALS.com with code Daily Dose, because you and your skin deserve the glow this holiday season. Okay. Let's move on to Beverly Hills. You guys, Beverly Hills, what a thrill. Can I just take a moment and shout out Bose? I am so grateful for Bose. Badass Bose is my favorite new addition to the cast on all the shows, and I'll tell you why. She is powerful. She is fierce. She is strong. You know it. You can tell it, but she doesn't need to prove it. This is why I like her. She has a strong background. She has a strong career. She is clearly still working and very, very, she hustles. She hosts these workshops. She teaches. I don't exactly know what she's doing, but you see she grows. She has these seminars. She has all these wonderful things. And at the same time, she's not trying too hard to like make a difference in the show. She's not coming in hot. She's not coming in to start shit. She's listening. She's learning. She's meeting. She's entertaining conversation. She's starting to get to know these women. She's asking questions. That is the way in. Her friendship with these women feels genuine. It feels smart. It's slow. It's like getting in and it's starting to understand who these women are. She's not coming in with a vengeance or with an idea of who she wants to be. She's not producing. She's not having done her research and says, because you know what? If she did her research, I think she would have come in and been like, I'm going to be on Team Kyle because Kyle always runs the show. She hasn't come in with an agenda. She's coming in. She met Dorit first at the party and she's like, I like this girl. No one does that on this show with Dorit. Most women come in and decide, I don't like Dorit. She's come in. She's like, I connected with Dorit. I like Dorit. She's authentic. She's actually real. Big fan. Big fan of Bose. Big fan. Okay, we start back at the party. Oh my God. Where's my prop? Hold, please. Dorit is still in her hat. This hat that I knew I could wear it one more week, and this is the moment. Dorit is not giving up, okay? She is ready to take Kyle down. And let me tell you something. Dorit is saying everything we've wanted to say. She picks up, they're still at Sutton's realistic party. Surrealistic party. She picks up exactly how we all feel about Kyle. Because Kyle has decided that the reason she doesn't like Dorit is because of that stupid thing that happened when she hit the shot glass by mistake out of Dorit's hand. And then Dorit said, I actually like you number 3, Kyle, right? And I like Kathy number 1. And Dorit's like, it was a joke. It was a joke, tongue in cheek. Come on. And Kyle's like, well, I was going through a lot. Okay, Kyle, you're the only one in the world who ever goes through anything in the world. Like Dorit's like, I was literally just held at gunpoint. You be. Like, Kyle feels like she's the only person that she is ever allowed to go through any emotions ever. And Dorit's like, let's call it for really what it is. Okay. You were mad at me because I said, and this is exactly why she was mad at, like Dorit nailed it. She said, you were mad at me because I said on what's it called? On Watch What Happens Live that I love you, but I feel like you chose to be the more close you got to Morgan was the less close you were with me. And I said, I love you, but it's true. And that's exactly what happened. It probably got her in a fight with Morgan because Morgan's like, Kyle, she's making it look like we're lesbian lovers. And Kyle was probably like, I know, Morgan, I know, I'm going to fix it. And so she really, she nailed it. And Kyle's like, who are you? I don't even recognize who you are. I don't even recognize you. And the second Dorit calls Kyle out, Kyle runs. Kyle's a leaver. Remember yesterday we talked about it. Who leaves during conversations? Shannon Bedore, Kyle. And someone else that we were talking about yesterday, but now I can't even remember who it was. Okay, she leaves. And Dorit's like, ugh, stop it. I'm not falling for it. Like, you're not going to let me like feel bad for you. You want me to feel bad for you. It's not going to work. So the party ends. Thank God. Bye, Eagles. You were nice to me. So the party ends, and now we're over at a couple other big scenes happen. Of course, we're talking about it between two people. We're talking about it, of course, with at Bose's house with Erica and Dorit. And Dorit almost died when she had to take off her shoes at Bose's house. And I thought to myself, oh my God, Bose is making them take off their shoes. Like, have you ever seen Dorit walk barefoot? She was like, how do you do this? How do you walk on my feet? This feels very uncomfortable. And then she gave them slippers. I mean, Bose's house looked like the most cozy. They called it an oasis. It really looked like the most cozy home ever. And then she went to, so they were in Bose's house, and then the other two were Kyle and Sutton. Okay. Which get together would you rather be at? Now I'm gonna bow down to Sutton because Sutton's sitting with Kyle. Sutton did the Lord's work in that lunch meeting. Because Sutton was like, I need a martini for this meal because it wasn't even a meal for this get together because I'm about to give Kyle some real hard truths. And Kyle is probably, I would say, you guys, I'm letting it all out today. Okay. I'm not hiding any shit. Kyle, in my opinion, is probably the hardest person to be told that she's wrong. You know those people, right? She can't handle it. She cannot be told. She can't be talked about things that she's not wanting to talk about, and she can't be told if she's wrong. And she was not having this conversation. Sutton's like, hold on, let me take a sip of my martini. I drink alcohol. Remember this? When you used to be fun? Sutton was like, I know you used to think I have a drinking problem, or maybe still do. I'll have a real good martini, a good martini. And then when it came, she was like, this looks amazing. Like Sutton was like not fucking around. And Kyle's like, I'll take a non-alcoholic drink. Now, I am not in any way talking shit about sober people. I think it's a beautiful, incredible thing. But I think that when Kyle stopped drinking was all during the time that Kyle started dating Morgan, was all during the time that Kyle literally lost her personality. Like Kyle has become an unhappy person since she started dating Morgan. If you go back to watching her old episodes, she is a completely different person than she used to be. It's really a crazy, crazy time. Oh, Lance is still texting me back about Dancing with the Stars in that article. He's so upset. Like, are they not aware their standards and practices? He's like so upset that people are calling it the show racist. So anyway, Sutton's like, I'm going to tell you something right now. And I'm going to tell you good. And by the way, if anyone should be listened to about how to divorce properly, it's Miss Sutton Strack. Even Todd is agreeing. Okay. Todd just nodded for the first time in this entire episode. All he does during the show is shake his head. And for the first time, Todd just said, because when I said Sutton Strack is the best receiver of divorce in the world, Todd just went like this. Yes. Sutton Strack makes $300,000 approximately, I believe, a month. I want you to wrap your head around that. Most are lucky to get that in a year. In a year. Lucky to get that in a year. So I believe that Kyle, if she was smart, would not only listen to Sutton, she would take a notepad out and start taking copious notes. Then she would say, Sutton, what's your attorney's name? And can you hook up a meeting? Quick. $350,000 a month, Michael says. So $350,000 a month. Okay. And she doesn't have young kids. Like, that's the crazy thing. Is her youngest son out of high school already? It's mind-blowing. So Kyle is under some weird spell. She's under some weird spell in this Mauricio separation where she thinks that everything will be fine. Now, we're going to go back to the word denial when it comes to Kyle, because I believe in my heart that no matter how wonderful your marriage has been, and no matter how wonderful a human being is, like Mauricio is, what Sutton said rings very, very true. I don't believe that any single person in the world, when being asked for a divorce, Mauricio didn't ask for this, guys. Mauricio doesn't want this, or now he for sure wants this, but didn't want this at the time, is going to be like, you know what? We don't really have young kids anymore. Portia's pretty much out of the house by the time this actually will go through. Portia's what? A senior, junior, senior in high school. You know what? I'm gonna give you like so much money. I work really, really hard. I kill myself every day for the agency. Like, I'm just gonna give you like, here you go, babe. Like, take Morgan to Tennessee. Like, go buy a horse. Like, go and just take some. Like, just buy a ranch. Just go. What? No way. Mauricio wants to live it up in his penthouse buildings or buy 6 more houses to invest and continue to make a gang of money. He wants to continue to, like Sutton said on the after show, ski down, slopes with half naked women. He wants to buy, gorgeous, gorgeous cars. He wants to show off to all the hot women out there. He wants to be a baller. Mauricio is also involved in some crazy illegal shit. He needs money. Mauricio is absolutely not going to be like, absolutely, Kyle, you are amazing. Here's all my money. With like one of those like money guns. Like, Mauricio, here's my money and in my white party. Oh, Kyle, money, 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 money. Like, what? Kyle, you've lost your mind. No, we get along so well. We're so happy. We're so happy. Go back 1 season, guys. She wanted to vomit when he came close to her. Somehow Kyle became the victim in the divorce that she asked for. I can't handle this one. I can't handle it. She's a martyr. If you ask for a divorce, you can be sad. You're allowed to be sad. But you've asked for this divorce or a separation or whatever over a year ago. Over a year ago. And since then, you have completely changed your identity. You have traipsed around with a woman. And I'm going to say it. You have fallen in love with a woman, okay? You don't have to believe me in my audience. I know you have fallen in love with a woman. You have dated a woman, may or may not have worked, but you are definitely in love with a woman, or she is in love with you, or you are both in love with each other, or you are still trying to figure it out, but you are questioning you asked for this. You cannot now play victim because you are not getting your cake and eating it too. This is not okay, because if a man did this, we would hate him. If a man did this, we would all collectively despise him. But because a woman does it, it's okay? Tell me how that works. It doesn't work. Now, okay, I'm looking at your comments. Danny says, I disagree. Going through an end of a long marriage changes you, and there's a sadness that takes a while to get through. For me, it's been a few years, and I'm just starting. Okay, Danny, so let me ask you a question. Did you ask for the divorce? So that's my question for you. Did you ask for the divorce? Because to ask for a divorce means you've tried really every single thing to keep that marriage working, and nothing is worth staying together that's not better than separating. Meaning you absolutely, you've tried it all. And the idea of being apart is better than being together. Oh, you're allowed to be sad, by the way. You are allowed to be sad. I'm not saying you can't be sad. I'm just saying tables are being very turned in this season for Kyle. Because all of a sudden, last season, we were seeing her flirty at the tattoo salon. Tattoos all over, midlife crisis galore. And then this season, we're seeing a very different version of her. A very sad, very inward feeling. All of a sudden, the girl that she's been talking about nonstop is no longer wanting to be part of her life or her show. She can't talk about her. Looks like clearly maybe there was a breakup at some point during the season. She's lonely. Another comment. In my honest opinion, you're reading this wrong. Kyle tuned elsewhere after being crushed by Mauricio's repeated cheating. So I've talked about this at length. Mauricio allegedly has been cheating on Kyle multiple times throughout the marriage. And I do believe that that's true from what I've heard. And I do think that something happened. In my opinion, I think that it was never enough of an issue for Kyle until she found someone that she fell in love with. And then she said enough. So let's talk about this picture. Jamie says, I asked for a divorce and it was the absolute best day of my life. And that was a 22-year relationship. Okay. And I also want to remind you something about the money. So Kyle was dying over this conversation. She was like, this is actual torture, this conversation. I want out of this conversation completely. So I will tell you one thing. This last season, do you remember that one conversation that they had about signing financial documents? And they were in Vegas. And this is before Kyle had announced that she wants a separation. So she was with Mauricio still at this point. And they're in the bus in Vegas during the Magic Mike show time. And Kyle had said, I never look at documents. I just sign them. I always trust Mauricio. I always trust what he gives me. So Kyle really has zero financial literacy. Literacy, is that the word? Financial knowledge from what we know. She basically admitted that she doesn't know what money they have. I have a feeling that's true. I mean, maybe she knows a little more now, but the way she's playing it, at least on screen, is like she has not talked to an attorney one time. She has no idea what's going on. And even Erica said it on the after show. Erica's like, listen, it doesn't bother me, whatever you want to do. But I believe that if I were you, I would have the hard conversation with an attorney. And I would get a pretty clear picture of where I stand right now. You don't have to file, but you should get a pretty clear picture because you don't want to be shocked over what's going on at some point down the line. Like Mauricio holds all the cards right now because he's the one that is in charge of everything. And she has no idea what's coming up. And I think Kyle's one of those people is like, I don't want to talk about it. Like it's too much. It's too stressful. I don't want to talk about it. She wants to avoid. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. Then Dorit. I guess we can kind of just move on to Dorit talking to PK. How about that? Oh no, let's move on to the pizza conversation. I laughed my ass off with Kathy Hilton. I know she's problematic, but she's a caricature. Kathy Hilton sits with Erica and Sutton. Who knew Erica was going to come off as this like calm? Like Erica is Tamara at the reunion this season. She's on Xanax. She is calm, allegedly. She's not really. No one actually has said that. I'm just saying. She's like, I'm not getting involved. I'm just the peacemaker. She's light. She's happy. She's sweet. She's nice. She's easy. She's on everyone's side. So she goes over to Sutton's house. Of course, we get Avi, who looks great. Avi's lost a lot of weight. Did you guys notice that? Avi is like on the Ozempic train. He looks good. They're all like getting together at Sutton's house because they're going to jump in a car, Kathy, Erica, and Sutton, to go over to Kyle's house and surprise her, which is strange to me. I can't imagine that Kyle had all those cameras there and didn't know that they were going to be actually filming like a real night. But Kyle's story is that she's alone. She's hanging out alone. Portia's, of course, there. They're cooking together. It does feel lonely. Kyle's life does feel lonely. She has a huge house. We're used to seeing all the dogs. We're used to seeing all the family. Mauricio is always there, pouring himself a glass of wine behind that bar. Remember, they always used to talk behind that bar. And now all of a sudden it's kind of quiet. It's kind of lonely. Kyle looks like sad. She's got, her Pocahontas braids. Like she's just looking, and she is a little bit like Kyle's a bummer to watch this season. She really is. And she wasn't even last season. This season, she's a bummer to watch. And Erica and Sutton and Kathy kind of surprised her, made me laugh at the Amazon package prank. It was so like, that's a prank I want to watch, not the pregnancy prank. And then they come in and they start making pizza. I mean, they start making chaos in Kyle's kitchen. I would have been so stressed out if I were Kyle because like anxiety, like the anxiety of having a messy house. I'd have been like, ooh. But they end up, making a mess and, making their pizza. Still recording. My son, where are you? This is the thing about having kids home. And they end up making a mess and then they sit and they start talking. And basically, they continue to talk about being alone and being lonely. And Kathy is doing what Kathy does best, which is making fun of Mauricio. And like, bless Kathy for this, because how like needed is that when you're going through a breakup for someone to just be like, your ex is ugly. Your ex is a loser. Like, I think that's actually so funny. But Kyle is not into it. She's like, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to make fun of him. I don't want you to say that. I don't want you to do that. And this part of Kyle, it's weird. Kyle is so protective over him. And a lot of you guys say in the comments that you think she still is in love with him for that reason. But the picture, let's talk about this picture. So basically, they talk about this before they come over here. He still has his office. He's not living there anymore, which is weird that his office is still there. He's moved out. But he still has his office in the front room, which is weird. Move your office. The front room is his office. And I guess he had an 8x10, which is like a big picture of the two of them from when they were younger. Apparently, when he was still working there and living there, he flipped out the picture, which understandably, you would take that picture down. If my husband said I want a divorce, I wouldn't want to stare at Lance and I all day at my office. So I would take the picture down probably myself if I was mad at him or I was like hurt by him. But I wouldn't then put a picture of myself and, Craig Conover. Well, maybe I would, actually, now that I think about it. I probably would put a picture of myself and my boys, or myself and Todd here, or myself and the Dosers. I would do something else. He put a picture of himself and Emma Slater. And as you guys know, Emma Slater was his Dancing with the Stars partner and a rumored fling. So that was a way of him saying, F you. And everyone was very upset about that in the after show. And then, of course, during the show when they talked about it, everyone was very hurt for Kyle. And that was a way of him saying, like, okay, you don't want to be with me? Well, then you have no say over this. And I believe it was his way of hurting her, correct? Do you guys think that was an FU, or do you think that he was totally allowed to do that? I think no matter what, that was not cool. As much as Kyle bugs me, I still don't think that was cool of Mauricio to do. You don't have to be like disgusting. Although he probably saw that I'm Gonna Make You Love Me music video and was like, F you. But if you don't remember this, on the I'm Gonna Make You Love You music video, I'm Gonna Make Me Love You, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me, whatever music video with Morgan Wade, guess who commented on it? Mauricio. Do you remember that? Mauricio commented on the Morgan Wade music video. This is beautiful, ladies. Like, what was this bullshit thing that they were doing, supporting each other? That's the confusing part about the two of them. I feel like they're all so fake. Okay. Finally, Dorit. Dorit gets ready to go out to dinner with PK, single PK. They go to a beautiful restaurant. PK looks good, actually. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say hot, but he looks good. He's lost a little weight. He looks, healthier. He's not drinking. Gets a non-alcoholic beer and some French fries. She immediately is like, "You look good." He goes, "I've thinned out." And she goes, "Not if you continue to eat like that." And I'm like, "Dorit." And he was saying how he's bought all these new clothes. He stands up. He's like, "Look, single PK." I'm confused a little bit why they're single. Obviously, they fought a lot. Obviously, they weren't getting along well. Obviously, they were saying mean words to each other. But who actually called for the ending of their relationship? Who actually called for the separation? Did she break up with him, or did he break up with her? Because this part I don't get. Feels to me like she broke up with him, and that's why he was like, single PK, trying to like make her feel like shit about it. But then it feels like she was saying he was ending things with her. So I'm a little lost on that part. I liked their conversation. I thought it was real. I think it was important that it was on camera. I think it was important on camera because it never got nasty. It never got heated, but it was really honest and was really real. They both shared what they were feeling about each other. He said he was feeling a lot of emasculation from her. He wasn't feeling like the man. He felt like roles reversed. Oh, he said he wanted to separate. Thank you. He said he was feeling like roles were reversed And this happens with a lot of men. They come into marriages feeling like the shit, and then their wives maybe become more successful than them, and it throws them off, and they don't like the feeling. This is apparently how this is going with them. And he felt he didn't like the way she was talking to him. She felt like she didn't like the way he was drinking. I think they probably had a lot of other issues, but I think there was a lot of love there. And he basically said, like, we have to cut each other off. We have to cut each other off. We have to cut the codependency. And I think that was hard for her to hear. But can I just say, I will never, ever forget how Dorit showed us and let us in a way that Kyle has never, in 14 years, ever let us in to her actual struggle in her marriage. In one season, in 2 episodes, we have been more inside of the real struggle of PK and Dorit's marriage than we've ever known what's really going on with Mauricio and Kyle in 14 years. And for that, I'll never, ever think that Dorit is not showing us her true story. And that is like so important to think about when you think about why in the world is Kyle put on this goddamn pedestal on this network. I think she's fake. I think she's a bad friend. I think she is in with Bravo in a way that no one else is. I think Andy and her have a friendship that oversees everything, or Alex Baskin or something, because she gets away with something that no one else on that network does. And I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. And it bothers me. And then she plays the victim. I still don't know who Kyle is. Somehow she thinks that everyone knows who she is. I don't know who Kyle is. I couldn't tell you right now at all what's actually going on in Kyle's life. I don't know. Do you guys know? Could you tell me right now who Kyle actually is and what's really going on in Kyle's life? Do you know if she likes Mauricio? Do you know if she loves Mauricio? Do you know if she's having sex with anyone? Do you know if she trusted Mauricio throughout her relationship? Do you know if she thought Mauricio was faithful to her? Do you know if she thought Mauricio was a good husband to her? Do you know if Mauricio took care of her? Like, I don't know shit. I don't know anything. I don't like Kyle. I feel like it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. So that's not how I really feel about it. So, and yes, she's still with Morgan because she was just spotted with her just yesterday. So, or this week. So that's that. That's that. All right. I think it's a fantastic show. Give me 6 hours a day of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and I'll sign up for it. You guys, I hate to do this, but I have to do it. I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you. Happy Thanksgiving to my incredible Doser family. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful for each and every single one of you. Thank you for the wonderful support and love on this beautiful holiday. And I hope you have a beautiful Thanksgiving with your family or with your animals or with your solo or just with your dame.com. Use code Daily Dose, or with friends, or maybe just with your TV. Like, don't even worry if you're alone or you're sick. We'll all be together in our hearts. Join the Facebook group. I'm sure you'll find someone in there that you can dose with, if you know what I mean. And just know it's just a day. It's just a day. So if you're feeling lonely, it's just a freaking day. Okay, you guys, I love you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.